You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, wouldn't it be great if anything that went wrong had a really dramatic backstory? Wouldn't it be great if it were at least not embarrassing? Also, that thing in the back of that guy's vehicle looks a lot like a live goat. I'm going to have to take the ice pack off my shoulder. Ugh. That's always fun. Listening to yourself sound like a bowl of Rice Krispies with the ice pack on the shoulder.
It's okay. I just took the heat off my arm, so.
Oh my gosh! Between the two
you're
of
ice
us,
and I'm heat.
We're like the creation, and there was morning, and there was evening, and there was.
And boom, there were two old biddies on the podcast.
Maybe we need to change the name.
Yeah, two old biddies bitching.
Oh my gosh, I saw that the show, it's like, 30 years old, Falsettos, and it opens with a table of like four Jews sitting around bitching, and I'm thinking, this is anti-Semitic, but on the other hand, I recognize it. So this is our first conversation since I got a diagnosis of a partially torn rotator cuff, or not?
Yeah.
Oh boy, I've spent a lot of time wearing ice packs. It's just a lot of ice pack time. And
are you going to have surgery?
I hope not. I plan not to. And
I tore a rotator cuff way back. Actually, it was right before I met you, playing tetherball.
Oh God. It's never anything very impressive, like I was in a bull riding competition. No, for me, it's always something like, yeah, I put my back out when I was washing out tights in the sink. It's just humiliating to explain how you did what you did.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what I did. I wish I knew.
You weren't playing tetherball?
No, it was not tetherball. It may have been my doctor's theory when I tripped over my own furniture and landed on the spousal reclining chair.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember? And impaled myself on the arm. It may be that hurt so much that I didn't notice that the other thing was a mess.
That could possibly be.
I have no idea.
That's pretty much the story of my life.
Well, that's sort of like that joke where you go, well, hit the other one. Oh, is there some old cartoon where somebody complains about something hurts and the other guy stomps on his foot and goes, well, here.
That was my dad used to do that.
Give you something to worry about.
Kick him the other knee.
Old vaudeville joke there, I think, is what that was. So I have to confess, I must confess something.
Yes, my child.
I'm entering into the era of righteous anger when it turns out I'm wrong.
Sweet. I love that.
I mean, last night we had a rather indifferent dinner, and mostly because the place we wanted to go, we walked in. It's freezing cold here. It's like 12 degrees and windy. And we walked into this restaurant we wanted to try, and they informed us that they only took cash. And so we were forced to flee.
What?
And then the question became, did we want to go get cash or stick it to them and go somewhere else? So we decided to stick it to them and go somewhere else. So we really stuck it to ourselves because we went someplace we really didn't want to go. And then that's kind of been something that I've done my whole life. It's the nose to spite the face problem. But on the way home, I wanted to drop off my library book that I'd finished in the nighttime drop off. And normally,
were you on the red line? Let me ask.
No.
Were you walking?
No, almost worse. I was sitting on the passenger side of the mommy van, the side which has no heat.
Oh.
Yeah. So here are my choices in the winter, by the way. Just
Yeah.
Option A, sit on the driver's side, which has plenty of heat, and have the passenger seat occupied by the spousal unit heckling me like I'm some kind of major league ball player on a losing team that he supports.
Can I give you a suggestion?
What's that?
Get rid of that freaking car. Gee, spend $6,000 and buy a car that heated on both sides.
The thing about our car with 200,000 miles on the mommy van, a couple of things about the car with
mommy van needs to go to mommy van heaven.
miles on it. I met a lovely and vigorous and very with it 96-year-old woman at a women's club Christmas party that my friend attends yesterday. And she mentioned growing up in a neighborhood where one might hesitate to walk around now in Chicago. And I said, well, if you get back to Chicago, because this was a party that was in Indiana, I'd be happy to drive you through the old neighborhood. And she looked at me and said, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And I said, oh, no, I have a car that's completely city proof. This car looks so bad that no one will bother us anywhere we go.
And you could freeze your old lady ass off in my passenger
That's true.
seat.
I could kill her easily. But okay, so my two options are you drive, you have heat, the husband heckles, or you're in the passenger seat freezing your proverbial off. So I was in the passenger seat because freezing my ass off is better than being heckled while the spousal unit sits next to me, even if it's warm. And we dropped the book off at the library book depository. And then I said, well, you go down the street and you turn left. And then we had an argument because I'm telling him where I drive and he's telling me no. And then I start screaming, Myrtle Street is that way. I should know. I drive down Myrtle Street 5 times a week, except that I didn't mean Myrtle Street. I meant to say Robin Street. And so he's looking at me like I'm mad, half out of my mind. I hate it when men don't listen to me. I hate it when I know Myrtle Street. I know where it is. I drive it all the time. And finally, he goes the other way. He goes, okay, yeah, whatever, Myrtle Street. And then I realized, I said, you don't listen to me. When I say Robin Street, he said, well, you didn't say Robin Street. You said Myrtle Street. I was mortified.
Are you still not talking to him?
I had really let him have it. I hate it when men don't listen to women. I do this all the time. You're going to mansplain what street that is. I know perfectly well. And of course, I was completely wrong because I'd said the wrong name of the street.
Hey, you put in your dues, damn it. You're right whether you're right or not. You're always right. Just remember that. I said so.
That was the attitude that I took. Yes. Now it's a running joke, but I am evaluating that medical power of attorney because I may be needing it sooner than I had thought.
So I have a medical update.
Yes. Yours are the goats.
The goat.
Oh, how is the goat?
I think the last time we discussed, for people who missed the last podcast, and you can go and listen to it on YouTube, where it's sitting right now. Jerry the puppy got a hold of the dude's back leg.
To play, you said.
And Jerry's full name is Jerry Garcia.
Jerry Dingus Garcia.
Yes, Jerry Dingus Garcia. But Jerry Garcia for short, because Jerry Dingus Garcia is very long and too many letters for like all the registration places. Did we talk about Frankie taking the dude to the vet? I don't think we did.
No.
So the first time it happened, I told everybody, I asked Facebook what to do, and they blew me up. And so I know better than to ever do that as long as I live, no matter how sincere and how badly I need to know something, I will ask Jeeves. The youngest child who works for a very large veterinary practice that actually does handle livestock asked, what should we do? And they said, well, we'd really like to see him if you can get him in here. And of course, we don't have, the thing that you stick them in. I don't know what it's called, horse van.
But you do have Frankie.
I have a studly, young, muscular husband. Picked that goat right up off the ground and put him in the giant lifted Clifford the Big Red truck.
Okay.
And this is the truck that I have to get a running start to even climb in.
Yes.
But yes, so I put plastic all over the back of the seat of the truck in case if there was an accident. He picked a dude, put him in there, and drove him an hour to the vet.
Aw.
Through town. And of course, he cracked the window so the dude could stick his head out the window. Because how many times does a goat get to ride in the back seat of your truck? And he said that, people were yelling at him at the stop signs. And he had to stop and get gas. And everybody's coming over. Yeah, but
wait a minute, you didn't make this ride with him?
Yeah.
You let the citizens of your town of Williams, Arizona believe that your husband is squiring around a goat like royalty in the back seat of his truck?
Grandma was babysitting because Eve was at work.
Okay.
Boy.
All right.
Yeah, Eve was at work for the last 7 days. We've had to give him an antibiotic shot every night, like with a hypodermic needle.
Which you love.
Oh, are you kidding me? I can't even like look at him. But Eve and Frankie have been taking turns, and my job has been
Wait. Let me guess. Your job has been to pass out as an entertainment factor.
no, no, no. This is even better. You're gonna love this. So he has a pill, like I don't know what it's for. It's a
Oh
little
my
white
God, a
pill.
goat suppository.
No, it's even worse.
Worse?
So they said to put the pill in a little bit of water and then keep smashing it until it's sludge, and then pour molasses on it and put it in like this squirter shooter thing and shoot it in his mouth. And so let me tell you,
Great. Jello shots for your goat. That's fantastic.
except that you have to squirt it. And first of all, first you have to catch him because on 3 legs he's faster than I am on 2.
Ah.
So I'm chasing this goat all over the yard, and all of a sudden Kevin, the great big giant goat, decides that he's going to be the dude's protector and get in between us. And then he wanted the medicine that he doesn't need. And it's been a blank storm of awesomeness on the blank storm of awesomeness ranch for 7 days now. Well, here's part 10 of the story.
Oh.
Little Jerry Garcia, who weighs about 25 pounds now.
That's the dog for those of you keeping score at home.
Yes. Jerry Garcia is the puppy that we've had for 3 weeks. The child this morning pulled up a picture from Google and said, "Doesn't this look like Jerry?" And I said, "It does." And she had her finger over what it was. Irish Wolfhound Poodle mix.
Oh my God.
So he could grow up to be the baby's pony. Who knows?
Well, at least when the baby says, "I want a pony," you can say you already have one.
Here.
It just looks
Yeah.
looks more like a dog.
But
Here.
yes, it was an accident. He did not mean to hurt the goat.
I know,
but now
I know.
that it's
Yeah,
happened, they
now-
can't be together.
I believe the Facebook group has informed you that once they get a taste for goat,
I still don't believe that.
I have no idea if it's true or not. I just think,
I will never believe that, but I will never test it.
I just
either.
think given the chaos of the last 10 days, that you'd be wise not to give him a second. I think a second bite of the apple is probably a bad metaphor there.
Oh, and remember I told you the goat weighs like 200 pounds?
Does not.
That's what. No, he's not even close.
I know.
He weighs 100.5.
Yeah, that's about right. I've seen that.
I have
goat.
no sense. I have no sense of direction and no sense of weight, height, or horizontalness, or whatever the word is.
You have
I
a lot
don't
of
know.
other things you have no sense about, like how much booze is in your Jello shooters, how to run
That,
the
you know what?
ice
You
chipping
gave me a scathingly brilliant idea,
pina
though.
colada mixer, and how is that pina colada frozen juicer thing?
It doesn't work. But
Yes.
here's the scathingly brilliant idea you just gave me.
Okay.
I have all these squirters left. You know, the things that they look like giant hypodermic
I
needles
actually
with
know,
no needle.
I'm sorry to tell you because we have large dogs. I do know what those are. They're yes.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of them. I could make Jello shots in those,
Ugh.
and then just squirt them in people's mouths.
Ugh. Choking hazard, says the woman who's afraid of everything.
Who chokes on Jello?
Lots of people.
It's
That's
Jello.
Don't you remember those candies that were really popular for a while? They were Jello with like a tapioca ball in the middle, and then
No, that
Oh.
sounds disgusting.
I happen to like tapioca, so there. They had a great texture. If you're into the texture, the texture was vaguely obscene, is what I have to say about
Are you going to tell me that a lot of people died from them?
Well, somebody must have, because the do-gooder consumer police made sure that they carry now a big warning label. This candy is a choking hazard.
But I could stick a whole bowl of Jello in my mouth and not choke.
Are you too?
Maybe.
Thanks for listening to the Tory Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.